Hello and welcome to Notebook. Do you manage to reach school on time every day? And how do you do that? Do you walk, take a car or bus? Does everybody in your class reach school the same way? Modes of transport help us reach one place to the other. Depending on the distance, we use different modes such as walking, driving, riding a bicycle, in a car or bus, or even a ship or aeroplane. And not just today. Humans have been traveling since a long time. In the beginning of time, we used to only walk and carry goods on our back. You can very well imagine we could not manage to go very far by that. So gradually we started to use animals like horses and cows to carry us and our load. Even then, how far and how fast do you think that could take us? For transportation on water, we used hollow logs of wood that would keep us afloat and then learned to put pieces of wood together to make boats. The invention of wheel made great progress in modes of transportation. Animals were now used to pull carts on wheels. Eventually, the invention of steam engine brought about a revolution with vehicles like trains and ships that could cover much bigger distances. Later we invented electric trains, motorized cars and aeroplanes to make us travel faster and further. To be able to know which mode of transportation to take, it is important to know the distance that we need to travel. Not only for traveling, we also need to measure distance for activities like tailoring, carpentry, building houses, and many others. We constantly ask questions like how tall, how long, how wide, how far in our lives. All their answers concern distance between two places. Let us take this box for an example. How do we know how long or wide this box is to be able to know what would fit in it? I could use the span of my palm to see how many times my palm fits on a side. Now I can measure my palm with a ruler and multiply the number of times to get the length. In this case, distance is being measured by two parts. One is the number of times my palm covered the length, that is x. The second is the unit, which here is my palm. However, we all have different palm sizes. Let me call my friend to measure the same box with his palm. Hello, John. Please measure this box with your palm. Thank you, John. As you saw, we got two different measurements for the same object. To avoid such confusions, scientists across the world came up with the standardized units of measurement as the International System of Units or SI units. The SI unit of length is a meter. Each meter can be further divided as centimeters and millimeters or multiplied to get larger units of length such as a kilometer. We use different kind of devices to measure lengths of different objects. We could use a meter scale to measure flat surfaces. But we can't use the same to measure curved surfaces. In that case, we would use a more flexible measuring tape like the tailor uses one. Something more difficult to hold, like a long piece of cloth, can be measured with a meter rod. It is important to avoid errors while doing measurements. Let us take the example of this box to understand the following things that we need to check. Place the scale in contact with the object. If the 0 mark of the scale is broken, use another mark like the 1 or 2 and then subtract the distance from the reading on the scale. Position your eye exactly in front of the measurement that is to be taken. From side angles, your reading might be incorrect. Now imagine on a flat or curved surface, we need to measure a curved line. How would we do that with a meter scale? Instead, we could take a long enough piece of string. At one end of it, we tie a knot and keep this fixed at one end of the curved line. Keep stretching the string over the curved line along its shape till we reach the other end of the line, where we tie another knot. Now stretch the string between these two knots along a meter scale to get the length of this curved line. When an object position is changed with time, it is said to be in motion. There are different kinds of motion. When object moves along a straight line, they are said to be in rectilinear motion, as in cases of vehicles on a straight road, soldiers marching, etc. When we tie a stone at an end of a string and whirl it with our hand, it does not move in a straight line, but instead in a circular path. In this motion, the distance from the center to the path remains the same at all points on the path. This is called circular motion. Some examples are a fan or the hands of a clock. When an object repeats its motion after some time, it is called periodic motion. The same stone-tied string, if held vertically from a string end, pulled and let go, it goes in a swinging motion from side to side. This is called a pendulum. Other types of motion could be a combination of these types. For example, a ball rolling on the ground has both rectilinear and circular motion. With this, we come to the end of this video. Hope we could make understanding motion and measurements of distances fun for you. See you soon at another notebook video with more fun facts and questions.